This course is presented to you free of charge by TTJTech Services of www.ttjtech.biz and by Stir It Up of www.stiritup.com. And remember, stir is spelled with a U, not an I, so that's STURITUP.com. TTJTech Services and Stir It Up are pleased to offer this course to you, to the glory of God, and to the benefit of all those who listen.
This is Trainer Cliff, and welcome to more with the Mac 2024. Alright, I'm going to start out by talking to you a little bit about different Macs. There is the MacBook Air, the MacBook Pro, the iMac 27-inch. I think that one is actually still in rotation and being sold, the Intel model. Then, of course, there's the iMac 24-inch. We got the MacBook. I don't think the MacBook's in rotation no more. So, yeah, we got the MacBook Air, the MacBook Pro, 14 and 16-inch, the iMac 27-inch, and then we got the iMac 24-inch, which is, I think, the M1 right now. They haven't updated that one yet. Or maybe they did last year. I don't remember. I didn't pay too much attention to the keynotes last year. And then, of course, you got the Mac Mini, the Mac Studio, and the Mac Pro. So, the differences is in the weight and the specs and the screen size. I think the iMac, or not the iMac, but I think the MacBook Air comes as big as a 12-inch and as small as a 10-inch. I could be wrong. Maybe it's an 11-inch or 10.5 that it comes as small as. There's been rumors flying around that there's going to be a 12.9-inch this year, but who knows. The MacBook Pro comes in a 14 and 16-inch, and if I'm not mistaken, you can get up to 64 gigabytes of RAM on that, which is the memory, the avenues, the streets. The memory has the option to pass through. The MacBook Air, I think that goes up to a 16 gigabytes. And the 14 and 16, like I said, I think those go up to a 64 gigabytes. Maybe it can go up to 128 with the M2 Max, if I'm not mistaken. Apple.com is your best resource for that one. I'm not the greatest at it. I just know how to work certain aspects of most of these machines. Now, the Mac Mini I had for years. I love the Mac Mini. That is a set-top box per se, or a set-top box computer that doesn't come with any peripherals. No keyboard, no mouse, no monitor, no trackpad, nothing. You have to buy all that stuff extra. But in return, you get more bang for your buck. You can put more RAM, and now more recently SSD is all they're coming with. Same thing with the Mac Studio. It's a thicker version of the Mac Mini, but it packs more punch, more power. It's probably the medium between the Mac Mini and the Mac Pro. Now, the Mac Pro is one of those big old, bulky, big old machines that's on wheels and has a handle for you to roll around, because those things pack a lot of power. Most studios like Sony and Paramount and all them other big name Hollywood studios use those to edit and store their movie editing equipment. So I mean, them things can probably hold up to like 64 terabytes of hard drive space and like 400 gigabytes of RAM. I mean, them things, they can really pack a lot of power. The Mac Studio, it can do this. It can't do the same thing, but it can hold a lot of power. I think it can go all the way up to 128 if you get the Max, I forgot what it was called. I have it right here in front of me. I'd have to go look at my specs. But bottom line is, when you buy those machines, you get more bang for your buck because they come with nothing. They do have the display. I forgot what it's called. It escapes me right now. But the Mac Studio display, not Mac Studio, but the Studio display, I think it's called. Anyway, this thing is $1,600. If you're totally blind, I personally don't think it's necessary. Some buy it because it has the microphone built into it, and you can use Hey, that SIRI lady. I can't say it because I got HomePods and phones and other stuff sitting around me that I answer. But you can buy the Mac that, I mean, it also has iOS built into it, so I think it's on 6, the same as the phone, which is 17. Yeah, I mean, to each their own. Microphones, 4 microphones, great speakers, a HD 1080p camera, I think, for FaceTime and Zoom calls that will follow you. I forgot what they call that. Again, the phrase escapes me right now, but the bottom line is those are your machines. Now, how you turn these machines on are quite different. With all the laptops are like the MacBook Air, the MacBook Pro, and the MacBook Air and MacBook Pro. I think those are the only 2 models with 14 and 16 inch with different configurations of RAM. Always probably going to be up in the top right corner. You push that button, it turns it on and off. I very rarely turn my Mac off. I mean, it just works. I don't have to. It doesn't need to be restarted for disk defragmenter or disk configuration or nothing like that. I mean, it does all that stuff for me in the background, so I don't have to worry. VoiceOver very rarely hangs. Honestly, the only time I really restart my Mac is when I'm doing a system update. That's probably about the only time. Other than that, it stays on 24/7, 365. Along with the iMacs, though, their power button is found if the screen is facing you on the back left, and it's an indented button that you really have to feel for because they got it pretty much embedded into the monitor thing, and it's usually right next to the 3.5 USB jack. You push that and it turns it on. Now with the Mac Mini and the Mac Studio, it's going to be on the back, pretty much in the same area, but because it's not a display, it's going to be right next to the, let me take a look here, on the Mac Studio, it's right next to the 3.5 millimeter jack on the corner. You just push it. I won't do that because it'll turn it off, and it's right next to on mine, the HDMI port, next to my 2 USB ports, and then of course I got 4 USB-C ports on the back of the Mac Studio. The iMac comes in different configurations. I think they got 2 USB-C ports and 1 USB. This Mac Studio I got also has 2 Lightning. Are they Lightning or USB? Let me check. I think those are Lightning. I think it has 2 Lightning ports on the front, or maybe they're USB-C, but slower speeds. Again, Apple.com is your best resource for that, and turning them off pretty much the same way. I would recommend just going into the Apple menu, and we'll get into that in a little bit, and then going to shut down or restart. Sometimes VoiceOver, and this is very, very rare, unlike some people seem to say on the internet, but VoiceOver may hang because of a program sometimes, and it just, you have to restart. But that doesn't happen that often. VoiceOver has come a long, long way. It's 2024. I've been using my Mac since 2011, so I'll call myself a pretty good seasoned veteran, so I know what I'm doing here. And again, Mac has come a long, long, long way with VoiceOver and the accessibility built in. First of all, you don't need no help setting it up. You can turn it on and it instantly talks out the box. Tells you how to activate VoiceOver or to turn it off if you don't even want to be bothered with it if you're a sighted user. You can do everything yourself. Signing into it, signing into your Apple ID, setting up the accessibilities, all that. Again, I'll show some of those demos here in the coming weeks. But and if the Mac, you say you need a fresh start, you can restore it to factory settings. Zero help. Zero. All VoiceOver accessible. I've done it more times than I can count. Maybe 50, 60 times on each machine that I've owned, just because I wanted to see. I was just amazed. I was blown away on how accessible it was to begin with. And when I first got my Mac, I think I probably restored the factory settings maybe 4 or 5 times in the first 2 weeks, just because I was amazed at how accessible it was, and the operating system that I came from was not. So that's just my little soapbox. What else can I tell you about the machines? They're very durable. That doesn't mean whip them across the room, but I've dropped a couple MacBook Pros and MacBook Airs in my year, and they've never cracked the screen or was damaged or nothing like that. I would not recommend having a drink by it. Open drink anyway, because you spill it, you don't got that insurance, you're screwed. Sometimes it'll work still, sometimes it won't. I've never done it, but I know people who have. The iMac 2022, I think it was, where my buddy Tim Kilburn, the late great Tim Kilburn, was around and was doing certain things and helping me out. But that iMac actually looks like a huge iPad on a stand. That's how thin it is. It's a great machine to have if you can afford to have one. I think they're about to come out with the M3 or M4 for the iMac versions, possibly a bigger screen, but them are rumors, so we'll see what happens. So that's my little spew on how to turn on a Mac and how to handle it, and maybe the model that you might want to get. This segment's going to be all about the quick start guide. We are going to talk about a few keyboard shortcuts on how do you get started with the quick start guide, which I encourage anybody to use. I don't care how long you've been using the Mac. The quick start guide changes and adds new things each operating system. Right now we are on, what's it called? This system is called Sonoma, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of things in here that has improved or been added since Ventura, Monterey, and all those before it. So I encourage you to check out the quick start guide. How do you get to the quick start guide? Well, you can get to it a bunch of different ways. You can use voiceover keys in F8, the top row above the number row. If you don't have your function key set to use a standard function keys, you're gonna have to add the FN key, or you can push VO letter H, arrow down 3 times, and that will be the quick start guide. But right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit VO and HH, because that's gonna take you to some commands reference section, for lack of a better term. What that means is, if you forget a key command, if you need to find something, or you just want to know what something does, just go into there and it will tell you what the commands is, even commanders that you have created. Something we'll go over later on down the line. So let's do VOHH.
Voiceover commands help menu, 15 items.
You heard him say commands help menu. Let's listen to see what we got here.
General menu.
General, what's in this category?
General menu, 84 items.
Let me slow speech down a little bit. Now, in order to do that on the fly, I gotta do VO Command Shift with my left hand, and my right hand I'll hit the left arrow key. To change any attribute on the fly, you can do VO Command and just the arrow keys, and let's see what we have.
Widgets.
You got the widgets, hotspots, words, characters, navigation.
Widgets.
This is basically the rotor. So if you add the shift key to it, so VO Command Shift, and use the arrow keys,
rate 50%.
I can slow down the rate here, which is what I want to do.
45%.
So I want to be able everybody to be able to understand voiceover.
40%.
So I got it at 40%. That should do. And if I hit the left arrow again,
voice, Alex, United States.
Now I can change the voice.
Language, English.
I can change the language.
Braille table, English, unified.
Braille table stuff in here.
Volume, 45%.
Volume, I'm pretty sure the volume is cool for right now.
Pitch, 35%.
You can change the pitch so it's deeper or higher.
Rate, 40%.
And we're back to the rate. So that's how you
desktop
change attributes on the fly. VO Command and the Shift key. And if you want to just do the rotor, is VO Command and the right and left arrows. But to change the attributes like volume, pitch, speed, and all that, VO Command Shift and the left or right arrow. And when you get to the category you want, you go into or you hit the down or up arrow to change the rate. Alright, let's go back into the
Heading not found. Commands help menu. 15.
commands help menu. Let's see what we got here.
General menu.
General, what's in this category?
General menu. 84 items. Actions control option command space. Add pronunciation. Audio graph scrub left control option command, comma. Audio graph scrub right control option command, period. Bring window to front control option FN at. Click mouse control option shift space. Close window control option command escape. Describe position of window control option FN command 2. Describe size of window control option FN command 2. Double click mouse control option shift space. Drop marked item after chosen spot. Drop marked item after voiceover cursor control option greater than.
Alright, so you get the idea.
Commands help menu on general menu. Information menu.
Let's go into information.
Information menu. 14 items. Describe item in mouse pointer control option FN 5. Describe item in voiceover cursor control option FN 3. Describe item with keyboard focus control option FN. Describe mouse pointer location from top left of screen.
So you get the idea.
FN 5.
So you get the idea. And to the newcomers or the newbies, if you ever want voiceover to stop talking while you want to talk or want to hear something else, hit the control key. And if you want him to continue, you just hit the control key again.
5.
And he'll continue and finish his phrase. Alright, so let's go back over to the
Commands help menu. Navigation menu.
navigation.
Navigation menu. 50 items. Go down one page control option. Page down. Go left a bit control option shift left arrow. Go left one page control option shift page up. Go right a bit control option shift right arrow.
So you get the idea. Like I said, you can come in here, and to get here you just do VOHH, and it will bring you to the commands menu, and you have lots and lots of things in here. Let's go.
Commands help menu. Text menu.
We won't go into
Web
text.
menu. Find menu. Tables menu. Size and position menu. Audio menu. Braille menu. Visuals menu. Speech menu. Speech menu. 8 items. Decrease pitch. Decrease rate. Decrease volume.
So you have your, like I said, this is basically where the central location to figure out what your commands are and how to do them.
Commands help menu. Hotspots menu.
I don't have any hotspots, so we're not even going to go into that. Actually, I have 2, but they're in an app that is not relevant right now.
Keyboard commander menu.
This is where I want to go. Keyboard commander, because there's commands in here.
Keyboard commander menu. 49 items.
I got 49 of them.
Decrease volume. Right option exclamation mark. Open application. Logi options plus right option number. Mute voiceover toggle. Right option comma. Toggle screen curtain on or off. Right option period. Run Apple script. Mute or unmute microphone. Right option slash. Go to beginning. Right option 1. Go to end. Right option 2. Open application. Contacts. Right option 3. Open application. Calendar. Right option 4.
So these are commanders that I've created in the commanders section of voiceover utilities, and he's just telling me how to, what they are, just in case I did forget what they are. Opening the calendar is option 3. Opening the contacts is option 3. Opening the calendar is option 4. Muting voiceover is option slash. These are the ones that I've created, but there's a whole list of them in here. So like I said, this is the central location on how to get to your commands, on what you've created with your own commanders or commands that live within the system voiceover style.
Commands help menu. Quick nav menu.
You got a quick nav menu in here,
Quick nav menu.
and that's the last one. So
Desktop.
again, to get to that section, you want to do voiceover keys, control, option, and the letter H twice. Once you do that, you can arrow up and down through the different categories. When you get to the one you want, you hit the right arrow and listen to the commands, and he'll tell you how to execute them, what keys to press. So to get to the voiceover actual help menu, you just do VO keys and the letter H with just once.
Voiceover help menu. 5 items.
And there's 5 items in here.
User guide control option. Question mark.
Now that's the actual user guide. Now, to be honest, I've never went into there, so I don't know if it's a voiceover user guide or if it's actually the user guide for the whole Mac operating system. So you'll have to, explore that one and let me know.
Commands help menu. Control option. HH.
See, he just told you how to. I guess it's called commands help. So you can get to that by VO keys and the letter H twice, which is just where we were.
Keyboard help control option K.
Keyboard help. This is a huge, big one, very important one. I've been using the Mac for almost 14, 15 years, and I still go in here. So to get to the keyboard help, you do voiceover keys. Again, Control Option K. Whenever I say voiceover keys, that's what I'm talking about. Control and Option are the voiceover keys. Modifiers. You can also use the caps lock key if you so choose and have it set up that way. I don't. I use the VO keys, Option and Control. But the VO keys and the letter K will take you into keyboard help. If I don't know where a key is or a punctuation is or something, anything, I push VOK and I do that key combination to remind myself, because sometimes I forget, and there are certain things that the keyboard can do if you use the shift key or the option key with a letter or a number on the keyboard, and voiceover will tell you what it is. So I come in here sometimes and explore and do that.
Sounds help menu.
This is the sounds menu. The recorder is probably not going to pick it up because I don't think I have it set up to pick up the background sound effects. But basically, you go in here and it tells you what the sound is, and it makes it for you.
Quick start tutorial control option FN command 8.
That's when I was talking about the quick start tutorial. This is where we're going to go. But again, he just told you how to get to it. The voiceover keys and the letter and the key F8. Again, if you don't have your function key set to be standard function keys, you'll have to add the FN key plus F8 to get in there.
Quick start tutorial control option FN command 8.
So we're going to hit VO spacebar.
The voiceover quick start. In this quick start, you'll learn voiceover basics, as well as important voiceover commands to help you navigate on your Mac and use apps. You can exit the quick start at any time and finish it later. To advance through the quick start panels now, use the arrow keys located to the right of the main keyboard keys. On a portable computer, they're located in the bottom right corner of the keyboard. The up arrow and down arrow keys are positioned one above the other, with the left arrow and right arrow keys on either side. Now continue to the next panel by pressing the right arrow key. To exit at any time, press the escape key. Practice what you learn. Many quick start panels include an area where you can use voiceover to practice the commands you just learned about on the panel. The quick start plays a sound to indicate when practice begins and ends. When voiceover starts and is ready for practice, you will hear the following sound. When voiceover stops, you will hear the following sound. Now continue to the next panel by pressing the right arrow key. The voiceover modifier. You enter voiceover commands by pressing the voiceover modifier and one or more other keys. You can set the voiceover modifier to be the caps lock key or the control and option keys pressed at the same time. By default, you can use either as the voiceover modifier. You can change the voiceover modifier in voiceover utility. The caps lock key is the third key up from the bottom on the left edge of the keyboard. The option key is the second key to the left of the spacebar. The control key is immediately to the left of the option key. On a keyboard with numeric keypad, the option and control keys are also available as the second and third keys to the right of the spacebar. During this quick start, when you need to enter a voiceover command, you will hear something like, press VO right arrow, which means, press and hold the voiceover modifier, then press the right arrow key. For example, you press and hold the caps lock key, then press the right arrow key. Now continue to the next panel by pressing the right arrow key. Keyboard help. VoiceOver provides keyboard help for learning about the keys on your keyboard. After you start keyboard help, just press a key to hear its name. If you press the voiceover modifier at the same time, you hear the name of the voiceover command assigned to that key, and a brief description of the command. Use voiceover now to start keyboard help. Press VOK. When you're done, press the escape key to exit keyboard help and return to the quick start. Then press the right arrow key to continue to the next panel.
Okay, so we're going to go into the keyboard help as he instructed, and that's again voiceover keys and the letter K.
Starting keyboard help. Type keys to hear their names. Hold down the voiceover keys while typing to hear voiceover commands. Press the escape key at the top left corner of the keyboard to stop help.
Alright, so let's hit the
Control Option.
The letter L does nothing.
I. Item chooser. Lists all items in the window. J. Go to linked item. Moves the voiceover cursor to the item linked to the current item.
And I'm doing all this while holding down the voiceover keys.
H. Open voiceover help menu. Brings up G. Find next search text. Finds the next occurrence of item search. T. Read text attributes. Describes all text attributes. Y.
Y does nothing.
8. Jump to item at hotspot 8. Moves voiceover to the item at the current hotspot.
Alright, now I'm going to let go of the voiceover keys and just push one letter by itself.
K. H. J.
Alright, let's add the option key.
Option. J. K. L.
Yes, that does nothing. So, and you get the idea. So we'll hit escape.
Escape. Stopping keyboard help. Press the right arrow key to continue. Move around the screen. To move the voiceover cursor, press the voiceover modifier while pressing the up, down, left, or right arrow key. As the cursor moves, you hear a description of the item it moves to. On screen, the voiceover cursor appears as a rectangular outline around the item. Use voiceover now to navigate around the practice area below. When you're done, continue to the next panel by pressing the right arrow key.
Alright, we're not going to do
Voiceover
that.
and voiceover quick start. Move around the screen window. Show all comments. Select it. Hide all comments. Settings. Uncheck announce alert messages setting. Adjust the voice. You can choose a different voice to use in voiceover, or change the voice's rate, pitch, and volume. To start, hold down VO Command Shift and press the right arrow several times until you hear the voice setting you want to change. To increase the settings value, hold down VO Command Shift and press the up arrow. To decrease the value, hold down VO Command Shift and press the down arrow. Use voiceover now to change the voice or adjust its settings. When you're done, continue to the next panel by pressing the right arrow key.
Alright, we're just going to go ahead and push the
Voiceover and voiceover quick start. Adjust the voice window. Continue. Has keyboard focus.
We're just going to go ahead and continue because I've already showed you how to do that. So,
Panel 6 of 19. You can select controls. You use the voiceover cursor to interact with checkboxes, radio buttons, pop-up menus, and other on-screen controls. To select a control, press VO spacebar. To show the items in a pop-up menu, press VO spacebar. To select an item in the menu, navigate to it, then press VO spacebar. Use voiceover now to navigate and select controls in the practice area below. When you're done, continue to the next panel by pressing the right arrow key.
alright, so
Voiceover and voiceover quick start. Unchecked. Solid lines. Checked. Unchecked. Column checked. Unchecked. Row head for new document. Rich text. Selected. Radius plain text. Quit. Type in text fields. You enter information in text fields. Most text fields have labels located above or beside them. Move the voiceover cursor to a label to learn about the text field and the type of information to enter in the field. When you type in a text field, you hear each letter as you type it. When you type in a secure text field, such as a password field, the characters are not spoken. Use voiceover now to read the labels for the text fields in the practice area below, and then move the cursor to the text fields to enter text. When you're done, continue to the next panel by pressing the right arrow key. Voiceover and panel 8 of 19. Continue. Interact with elements. Some elements can contain other elements, such as a toolbar that contains buttons. VoiceOver simplifies navigation by moving to these top-level elements, then letting you decide whether to explore the elements within. When you hear an element of interest, such as a table, you can stop and interact with it. When you do, the VoiceOver cursor stays within the element's boundaries until you stop interacting with it. To start interacting with an element, press VO Shift down arrow. Then to navigate within the element, use VO and the arrow keys. To stop interacting with it, press VO Shift up arrow. Use VoiceOver now to interact with the toolbar in the practice area below. When you're done, continue to the next panel by pressing the right arrow key. Navigate in tables. When you interact with tables in documents and web pages, you navigate vertically and horizontally using the VoiceOver commands you have already learned, VO and the arrow keys. To read tables by column, row, or cell, you use other VoiceOver commands. To read a table column, press VOCC. To read a row, press VORR. To read the column header, VOC. To read the row header, VOR. Use VoiceOver now to navigate and read the table in the practice area. When you're done, continue to the next panel by pressing the right arrow key.
Okay, so again, you get the idea. And if
VoiceOver and VoiceOver.
and if you ever, want to come back to the quick start guide, to exit it, you hit the escape key, which I'm about to do.
Finder, desktop.
But if you ever want to go back to it, you just go back to the quick start guide by VO8 F function key 8, or the or add the function key and then hit the F8 with the VoiceOver keys, or you can do VO8 and go down to the quick start guide. And if you want to continue, you push the right arrow. If you want to go back to the beginning, you push the left arrow. So that's how to get to the quick start guide. I'm gonna show you a few things here in the Finder right now, just a few tidbits to jump around a little bit. I mean, maybe it's jumping ahead a little bit, but if you ever want to find out what app you're in, you do VOM.
Menu bar, Apple, Finder.
See, it says Finder there, so it'll say Finder. I'm sorry, it's the second menu. It'll say where you're at, so that's Finder.
File.
Here's File menu. That's your basic stuff.
File. New Finder window, Command N. New folder, Command Shift N. New folder with selection, Command Control N. New Smart folder. New tab, Command T. Open, Command O. Open with. Close window, Command W. Get info, Command I. Rename. Compress. Duplicate, Command D. Make alias, Command Control A. Quick look, Command Y. Print, Command P. Share ellipsis. Show original, Command R. Add to sidebar, Command Control T. Move to trash, Command Delete. Add to sidebar, Command Control T. Move to eject, Command E. Tags. Find, Command F. Find, Command F.
Alright, so you got some commands there, and it tells you how to do certain things.
Menu bar, Edit.
Edit is usually your copy, cut, paste, and all that. We're going to skip that one.
View.
The view menu, you can have how you want it to be viewed. Let's see what our options are.
View. As icons, Command 1. As list, Command 2. As columns, Command 3. As gallery, Command 4. Use stacks, Command Control 0. Sort by. Sort by, checkmark, non-command control option, snap to grid. Name, Command Control option 1. Kind, Command Control option 2. Shared by. Last modified by. Date last open, Command Control option 3. Date added, Command Control option 4. View, sort by. Clean up. Clean up by. Hide tab bar, Command Shift T. Show all tabs, Command Shift \. Hide sidebar, Command Control S. Hide preview, Command Shift P. Hide toolbar, Command Option T. Hide path bar, Command Option P. Hide status bar, Command /. Customize toolbar ellipsis. Show view options, Command J. Show preview options. Enter full screen cap F. Enter full screen cap F.
So you get the idea. Like I said, the file menu is going to be your best friend in any app, because if you don't know how to do something, it will have it in there. But the menu I want to go to is called the Go menu, and that's going to give you navigation tips and keystrokes on how to navigate your system on different parts of it. So let's go over there.
Menu bar, Go. Go. Back command, left bracket. Forward command, right bracket. And closing folder, Command up arrow. Recent, Command Shift F. Documents, Command Shift O. Desktop, Command Shift D. Downloads, Command Option L. Home, Command Shift H. Library. Computer, Command Shift C. AirDrop, Command Shift R. Network, Command Shift K. iCloud Drive, Command Shift I. Shared, Command Shift S. Applications, Command Shift A. Utilities, Command Shift U. Go to folder ellipsis, Command Shift G. Connect to server ellipsis, Command K. Connect to server ellipsis, Command K. Menu bar, window. Desktop.
So you get the idea. You know, like he said, downloads folder, Command Option L to go to your computer section, which people that are coming from Windows will recognize. That's Command Shift C. One of the interesting things that I thought he was talking about in the view menu is telling you how to view by gallery, list, column. You have icon, list, gallery, and I forgot what the fourth one, but the best one for a voiceover user is either column or list. I use list. I like my stuff in a list. I like to organize it in folders in alphabetical order, modify by date, stuff like that. It's to each your own. You gotta have to play with it to see. I think that's all I'm gonna go over right now. So, just again, if there's something specific that you want me to go over, or John or Matt, send us an email, support@stiritup.com. And that's STURITUP.com. You also can check out Matt and John's websites, macfortheblind.com and TTJTech.biz. They both got free resources, paid one-on-one reasonable training, and John has some tutorials that are up there that are free that you can listen to. He goes into a little more detail than I do. Yeah, I'm kind of a drive-by quick hitter. John breaks it down, goes into analytics and specifics that are important, but I think that you can learn on your own. But hey, we all have a different way of teaching. So again, thank you for joining this session of More with the Mac 2024. Thanks for joining today's session. Didn't get your question answered? Want paid one-on-one training? Email us at support@ttjtech.biz or support@stiritup.com. And remember, stir is spelled with a U. That's STURITUP.com. I'm Trainer Cliff. Thanks for joining us. God bless. See you next time.